Hello again, everyone. I'm Greg Amsinger, and welcome to this latest edition of MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. Just 3 wins shy of the magical 300-win plateau, it looked like this infamous career milestone would never be for a then 43-year-old Gaylord Perry in 1982. The peanut farmer from Williamston, North Carolina, was cut by the Atlanta Braves the previous August and wasn't even invited to the Seattle Mariners spring training until well after it started on March the 5th. March 27th, Perry signed a 1-year contract with those Mariners with his sights set on becoming the 15th player ever to amass 300 wins. On May 6, 1982, Perry got his first shot at number 300, facing the team he had garnered career win number 299 against just 6 days earlier, the New York Yankees. Let's now take you out to the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington. The Yankees taking on the Mariners as Gaylord Perry looks to make history.
Oh, it's a great night to be at the ballpark. Good to see so many loyal Mariner baseball fans here at the Dome tonight, and great to have you with us. Gaylord Perry ready to go on the mound, and with the action, here's Dave Niehaus.
Thank you, Kenny, and a very pleasant good evening, everybody. The eyes of the baseball world focused right here at the Kingdome, Seattle, Washington, on this Thursday night, May the 6th, 1982, as Gaylord Perry attempts to become only the 15th man in baseball history to win 300. Willie Randolph steps in, and the first pitch is a fastball in and over for a strike, and we are underway. 0-1 the count. Ken Kaiser calling balls and strikes tonight. Randolph, last Friday night against Perry, had a couple of base hits. He had a line drive to right and an infield hit. The outfield gives him the left center field gap. Perry reaches into that glove, and the 43-year-old right-hander's one-strike pitch, a curve, a bunt attempt, and a miss bunt attempt. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on Randolph, hitting at .341 with a couple of home runs and 12 RBIs. Blanche Perry is here, and Gaylord's 19-year-old daughter Amy is here. His other 2 daughters are back going to the school prom, and his 14-year-old son Jack has 2 baseball games tomorrow and Saturday. So the wife and the 19-year-old daughter in attendance tonight. The 2-strike pitch on the way to Willie Randolph, and the fastball is hit to the right side. A 2-hopper. Jimmy Mailer gets a second hop off the dirt, goes to the bag, 1 away. And here's Ken Griffey, the right fielder. Griffey had no luck against Gaylord Perry Friday night last at Yankee Stadium. He went 0 for 4. Let's remind you that the broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Seattle Mariners Baseball Club solely for the entertainment of our listening audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners Baseball Club is prohibited. The Mariners have had outstanding success against the Yankees here in the Kingdome over the previous 5 years. The M's have come out winners 17 times in 26 tries. The ex-Cincinnati Red, Ken Griffey, up there waving at Wood back and forth. Gaylord Perry into the wind. The pitch to Griffey is a change strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The outfield playing Griffey straight away. The infield the same. Manny Castillo, Todd, and Julio Cruz up the middle. Jim Mailer at first base. Bruce Bochy in left. Joe Simpson in center. And Al Cowens is around and right. Gaylord Perry with the strike on Ken Griffey. And the 1-strike pitch, and the slider misses low and inside this time. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gaylord Perry, 13-12 lifetime against the New York Yankees. Overall, 299 victories, 241 losses. And of course, he is 2-2 with the M's. The 1-1 pitch to Griffey, and the curve misses high and outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Yankees are struggling a little bit. They've made a couple of deals. Big John Mayberry, of course, in the lineup for the first time. The Toronto Blue Jays receiving Dave Revering and minor league infielder Jeff Reynolds. And Mayberry in the lineup for the first time tonight. Here is the wind in the pitch on the way, and Griffey takes strike 2 call on the outside corner at the knees. 2-2 the count. The Yankees have lost 2 in a row, 3 of their last 5, and they have played poorly at home at Yankee Stadium. They've only won 4 times in 14 outings. 2-2 the count to Ken Griffey. Gaylord Perry into that rocking motion. The big high leg kick, the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Perry, of course, earlier this year, establishing a new Mariner Club record for most strikeouts in a game as he fanned 13 California Angels. Perry across the bill of that cap, down the side of the ear, getting set for the payoff pitch to Ken Griffey. The North Carolina peanut farmer's payoff pitch is a fastball hammered to the right side. Cruz has it on the 3rd hop. He'll straighten up and throw him out. A big stretch by Mailer that time. Two down for New York, and here is Jerry Mumphrey. The Yankees also adding power-hitting Steve Balboni, calling him up from Columbus of the International League, and sending left-hander Dave LaRoche back down to Columbus to the Clippers of the International League. Jerry Mumphrey hitting at .276. Mumphrey had a couple of base hits off Gaylord Perry. He was 2 for 2 officially Friday night. In the game, the M's came back and won with 3 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th off Rich Gossage. Mumphrey, the switch hitter, batting left-handed, of course. Gaylord Perry with 2 down, nobody on. Into the wind and the delivery on the way to Mumphrey. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Perry just floated that ball over the black on the outside edge. Big John is on deck. Mayberry. Perry, the sign from Bud Bullen. The ancient Mariners, 1-strike pitch, and the fastball this time just barely misses low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gaylord Perry has won 225 games since his 30th birthday. Only 2 other men have won more games from age 30 on. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and the breaking ball misses low and inside ball 2-1. Cy Young won 318 games after his 30th birthday. He retired at the age of 44, and Warren Spahn won 277. He retired at the age of 44 after his 30th birthday. Now the wind and the 2-1 pitch on the way, and this time it's a fastball fouled at the plate, and the count of Mumphrey evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was 1 year ago today also that Rene Latchman took over as the skipper of the Mariners, replacing Maury Wills. And Rene's managerial record in the bigs, 50 and 62. The M's trying to win their 13th game of the year against 15 setbacks. The Yankees are 9 and 13. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Jerry Mumphrey. Joe Simpson, a center fielder, pulled over into left center. Gaylord Perry into the wind. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's a curve swung on and drilled into the gap in right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall on 1 hop. It is off the wall. Down to second base goes Mumphrey. He'll make the turn there. He's going to head for third. The throw by Todd Cruz on a hop is not quite in time. Jerry Mumphrey a triple, and those great legs of his just got him in time. As Mumphrey triples into the gap between Simpson and Cowens, he never hesitated. Once he hit the bag at second, and he looked up, it would have cost him, I'm sure, that Todd Cruz, that great arm, would have thrown him out. The relay by Simpson to Todd, and Todd threw the ball right on the money, but not quite in time to get Mumphrey. It was short hop by Castillo, just a little bit up the line from third, up toward the first base bag. Here is John Mayberry. John Mayberry will never forget Gaylord Perry. He hit his first American League home run off of Gaylord Perry while a member of the Kansas City Royals, and his first National League home run off Gaylord Perry while a member of the Houston Astros. And here he is at bat for the first time in a New York Yankee uniform. The pitch to John Mayberry, a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1. Mayberry, while with Toronto, hit .273 with a couple of home runs and 3 RBIs, and the Yankees have been hunting for this big man since the beginning of the year. Giving up Dave Revering to get him. Big gap in left center field. Mayberry has hit some gargantuan home runs here at the Kingdome. Gaylord Perry peeking over at third at Mumphrey. The 0-1 pitch to Mayberry, down low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The beginning of a tremendous 11-game homestand here at the Dome. The Yankees tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. And then the Indians in for 3 and the Orioles in for 4. Big gap in left center for Mayberry. The stretch. The 1-1 pitch by Gaylord, and the fastball is taken a bit low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dave Winfield is on deck. Perry trying to get out of it here in the first. A 2-out triple to Jerry Mumphrey. Perry into the wind. The 2-1 pitch to Big John, and the fastball is pulled foul up the first baseline. Mike Ferraro coaching at first base. Joe Altobelli over at first. Ferraro picks up the ball. Perry staring out toward the outfield. thinking about this pitch. This is the one he wants. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Mayberry. With 2 down, Mumphrey at third, no score, just the start of things, and great to have you with us. Gaylord Perry's first chance at 300 here tonight. The 2-2 pitch to Mayberry, and it's a slider down low and inside, didn't miss by much. Ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Perry waiting for Big John, wearing number 28 in that Yankee gray traveling uniform across the bill of the hat. Down the side of that right ear. Mumphrey away from third base. Perry getting set for the 3-2 pitch. And here it is to Mayberry. And it's a fastball swung on and popped up on the infield. Charging in Todd Cruz. He's there. He's got it. In the first, the Yankees, no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left after a half an inning. The New York Yankees nothing against right-hander Doyle Alexander. The Mariners coming aboard. We move to the bottom half of the first at the Kingdome. The Mariners trying their luck against Doyle Alexander. And lest we forget, this is Gaylord Perry's night, of course. All the national publicity heaped on Perry, and deservedly so. But Doyle Alexander, in his last start on Friday against the Mariners, from the first inning on, retired 19 of the last 20 Mariners to face him. And then the stick, Gene Michael, went to the bullpen with the Mariners leading it by a score of 2-1 to get Rich Gossie's pretty good insurance policy, but apparently the policy premiums hadn't been paid because the M's jumped on the goose for 3 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th and ended up winning that ball game by a score of 6-3. So Doyle Alexander gets the call one more time. Alexander 0-1 with the Yankees with a 4.15 ERA, and in his career at 9 decisions has come away a winner 5 times against Seattle, and he's lost to them 4 times. All those numbers while with the Texas Rangers. Julio Cruz hitting .229, steps in and leads it off for the M's, and you better believe the M's are really pumped for Gaylord Perry. As a matter of fact, they have been in every one of Perry's starts this year. And Gaylord is making his 6th start in a Mariner uniform. The Cruiser batting left-handed. Alexander's pitch is slow breaking ball. Strike is in and over, 0-1. Alexander, a great mixture of speeds. Kind of a straight up and down thrower. Here's the rock by the tall right-hander and the 1-strike pitch. There's the fastball that misses away. Ball 1, 1-1. Roy Smalley at third, Bucky Dent the shortstop, Willie Randolph at second, John Mayberry is at first, Winfield, Mumphrey, Griffey the outfield from left to right. 31-year-old Doyle Alexander on the hill, Rick Cerrone behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch and a drag bunt attempt is foul. Back over the top of the screen, hits the top of the screen and comes back into the crowd. 1-2 the count on the Cruiser. He'll be followed by Manny Castillo and then Bruce Bochy. The Mariners placing Dave Henderson on the 15-day disabled list with that sore left side, and they have called up switch-hitting ex-Yankee Bobby Brown from Salt Lake City, and Bobby is in uniform tonight. The 1-2 pitch to Cruz, and it swung on and hit to the right side. Right there is Willie Randolph. He'll glove it and throw him out. Cruz is gone 4-3. And that'll bring up Manny Castillo. Castillo, the switch-hitting Dominican, hitting at .222. 9 RBIs. Center fielder Jerry Mumphrey fairly shallow for Castillo. Winfield deep, and Griffey and right fairly deep. Even with the bag at third is Smalley. Doyle Alexander's delivery, and the fastball misses down low. Ball 1. 1-0 the count on Castillo. Alexander 6'3", 205, and the 1-0 pitch on the way to Castillo, and there's the strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, Floyd Bannister against Mike Morgan. Saturday, Jim Beattie and Ron Guidry. And then Sunday, a 7:05 start, Gene Nelson and Tommy John. The 1-1 pitch to Castillo, and the breaking ball is hit to the right side again. Willie Randolph charges in, gloves, and easily throws him out. So 2 ground balls to Randolph, and that'll bring up Bruce Bochy. Bochy has been hitting the ball very well. He has hit in 13 of his last 16 games, and he's hitting at .326.
Left fielder, number 23, Bruce Bochy.
Several banners wishing Gaylord Perry good luck tonight here at the Kingdome. Kind of a playoff series atmosphere. The pitch to Bochy down outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Crowd About 30,000 expected here at the Kingdome tonight. Doyle Alexander back with the 1-0 delivery, and this time it's a sinker that's low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield straight up and down for Bruce. And Alexander pumps up and comes in with the 2-0 pitch, and it's a fastball taken outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes with Richie Zisk due next. And there's a drive into the gap in right center field. That's deep, way back near the wall. On one hop, it's off the wall. It bounces back to Mumphrey. Bhakti will stand at second with a 2-out double. So the Yankees strike with a 2-out triple. Bhakti hit the ball harder than did Jerry Mumphrey and got it on one hop off that new wall in right center field, but low. The new wall that has been nicknamed the Walla Walla. And Bruce Bhakti, the 2-out double, and here is Richie Zisk. Zisk ranking 4th in the American League in hits with 31. And looking to get the Mariners and Gaylord Perry an early lead in this one. Right-handed hitter, Bhakti away from second. Doyle Alexander out of Georgia says no to one sign thrown out by Cerrone. Now all right. And the pitch to Richie Zisk, and it's a slider swung on, and it's missed. A wicked slider that time, 0-1. Good to hear that Glenn Abbott is throwing without any pain. Almost have to put a harness on him to hold him back. He says he feels so good. But Abbey expected to be back around the 1st of June. Bhakti, hands on his knees, is lead at second. The 1-strike pitch, instead time called for a second as Alexander takes that right foot and steps off the rubber, and Rick Cerrone slowly trots out to the mound to say something to the big guy. Bhakti is walking lead one more time. A 2-out double by Bruce. Todd Cruz would be next. Nice to have the governor of the state of Washington, the Honorable John Spellman, in attendance tonight to hope and root Gaylord Perry home. The 1-strike pitch to Zisk, down low, and it gets away from Cerrone, but not far enough for any advance to be made by Bhakti down at second. Beta Pinson coaching at first. Chuck Cottier over at third. And, of course, Gaylord Perry, speaking of politicians, received a call from the president yesterday at his news conference here at the Kingdome. 1 ball, 1 strike on Zisk. Now Alexander is set. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Richie, and the slider swung on and drilled right straight away center field. Mumphrey is there, and Jerry backsteps and makes the grab to retire the side. Zisk hit it right on the button, but right to center fielder Jerry Mumphrey. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. After 1 at the Dome, the Mariners nothing, the Yankees nothing. Dave Winfield steps in to lead it off for New York as we move to the 2nd inning of play. I'm Dave Niehaus with Ken Wilson. Good to have you with us on this perhaps historic occasion this Thursday night, the 6th of May. Winfield, Gamble, Smalley. Winfield hitting at .291. Big man from the University of Minnesota getting set as he spreads out there at the plate, a slightly closed stance. The outfield very deep and straight away for Winfield. Gaylord Perry ready to go to work. Now the master of his craft goes into the wind, and the pitch to Winfield is flied foul down the right field line, deep, way back, and now to play. Foul by a good 55, 60 feet. Winfield against Perry singled and doubled last Friday night in 4 trips to the plate and had an RBI. Perry again across the underside of the bill of that cap, down the right side of his face. Winfield right down on the knob of that dark stained bat. And Gaylord's 1-strike pitch on the way to David, swung on and again hit foul down the right field line. That'll drop in the seat next to the person who caught it the last time, just about, perhaps a little shallower. 0-2 the count. Gaylord Perry doing that toe tap out there as he checks his outfield and finds it straight away and turns around to receive the sign from Bud Bulling, the catcher. Oscar Gamble is on deck. Here's the wind, the 2-strike delivery on the way to Winfield, and it's a check swing taken just low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Took a good eye to lay off that pitch. Gaylord Perry has the one he wants, and he calls his own game. So that's a misnomer. The 1-2 pitch and the curve swung on and missed, and down he goes. High curve, and Winfield took a cut right through it. Strikeout number 1 for Gaylord Perry. Gaylord Perry now only 143 strikeouts away from Walter Johnson's all-time strikeout mark. Oscar Gamble. Oscar play me or trade me Gamble within the last 48 hours, having a chat with George Steinbrenner, and Gamble is in the lineup tonight. He's only appeared in 11 games and had only 26 at-bats. And he's hitting only .115. He's only had 3 hits. But again, here's another man who belongs to the Upper Deck Club here at the Kingdome, Oscar Gamble. Gaylord Perry into the wind, and the pitch on the way to Mr. Gamble, and it's a curve swing. Miss, and he was thinking Upper Deck that time, way out in front of the breaking ball. 0-1. Roy Smalley, he of Grand Slam fame and Kingdome home run fame, is on deck. Of course, the Grand Slammer coming last week at Yankee Stadium to beat the Mariners. Gamble wearing number 17. Perry into the wind. The 1-strike pitch, and the curve swung on, and a fly ball hit to center field straight away. Simpson goes back on the ball. Back near the warning track. He's a foot off the warning track and makes the catch. 2 down. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Mariners Radio Network.
This is Mariner Baseball on KBI Seattle.
Take me to the ball game. I want to see the M's. The Mariners are playing hardball. Hit it again and again and again. Hit it again.
Here's Roy Smalley, a man who has hit more home runs here in the Kingdome than any other visitor. He has 11 Kingdome home runs, and he has a Grand Slam home run from last Saturday night against the Mariners. The pitch to Smalley, up and in, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Smalley hit that Grand Slam home run off Bill Caudle, and the Yankees scored 5 in the 8th to break open a close ball game, a 1-1 tie, and win it by a score of 5-1. Actually a scoreless ball game. The M's scored 1 on their half of the 9th, and the Yankees won it 5-1. The 1-0 pitch to Smalley, and it's a fastball up, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 down, nobody on in the second, and no score from the Dome. Smalley, both hands right down on the knob of the bat. The switch hitter, of course, batting left-handed, and the 2-0 pitch swung on a line drive, base hit, whistled into right field. So Smalley is 1 for 1. And here's Rick Cerrone. It's nice to have our men and women in uniform listening around the world tonight to this ball game here at the Kingdome over American Forces Radio. George Malamasi, an old friend of mine, of course AFRS, an old employer of mine in Washington, D.C., setting up the broadcast tonight so that everybody might be tuned in literally around the world to see if Gaylord Perry can win his 300th game, and it's nice to have you men and women with us. Rick Cerrone hitting at .206 with a home run, 7 RBIs. A 2-out single by Smalley, the second hit off Gaylord Perry. We have no score, and we're in the second. The stretch and the pitch to Cerrone, and the fastball is bullseye. Strike 1. 0-1, a high strike across the levers. Cerrone peeking down at Altobelli to see if there might be a little play on, hit and run with Smalley at first. Bucky Dent, the Yankee shortstop, is next. Perry, a peek over his shoulder at Smalley. Drops down and comes to the plate, and Cerrone sends a tapper back to the mound. A fine one-handed stop by Perry. Throws him out by 45 feet. In the second, the Yankees are gone. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left after an inning and a half. No score. Here is Todd Cruz to lead it off in the bottom half of inning number 2, and the pitch is down low, ball 1 from Doyle Alexander, 1-0. No score. Todd Cruz, Al Cowens, and Joe Simpson. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that time, Todd out in front of it. One of the secrets, I think, to hitting Doyle Alexander is waiting on the ball. because he's not going to throw the ball by you unless he sets you up, and he can do that beautifully. Here's the one by Doyle, and the 1-1 pitch, and there's the fastball down low. Ball 2-1. KPRQ in Murray, Utah. Of course, our station there, and great to hear from you folks from the Beehive State. The Mariners have an exhibition game in Salt Lake City coming up down the line. We'll be talking more about that. Hope you'll come out and pay us a visit. The Yankees no runs, 2 hits. The Mariners no runs on 1. The double by Bruce Bochy. The Yankees with a triple by Mumphrey and a single by Smalley. The pitch to Todd. Way out in front of the breaking ball is Todd Cruz. 2-2 the count. Patience, son, patience. Now Doyle back with the 2-2 delivery, and the curve swung on and missed, and the slow off-speed breaking stuff gets Todd Cruz. That's strikeout number 1 for Doyle Alexander. Well, all you country music fans, Friday, May the 14th, the Mariner event, just for you. The Mariners go country on that night with a special music concert at 6:30 featuring Lee Rogers and the Stampede Pass. So make your plans now for the Mariners go country Friday, May the 14th, as the M's host the Baltimore Orioles. You can call the Mariners ticket office right now at 628-3300 and be sure to purchase your tickets in advance. That's the Mariners go country May the 14th here at the Dome. Here is Al Cowens, and he looks at a strike. 0-1. Cowens struggling a bit with that timber, hitting at only 186. Doyle Alexander's 1-strike pitch, and the fastball this time just misses low. Ball 1. 1-1. Al hitting .250 against the Yankees in a couple of games this year. Cowens fairly wide stance. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Albert, and the curve swung on, and a high fly ball hit to left field, not going anywhere. Winfield coming in, waiting and waiting, and he makes the grab for out number 2. 2 down. It's good to see that they have left the streamers hanging from the center field roof. Perhaps that's going to be a permanent fixture here this year. That adds a lot of color to the Kingdom. You'll notice that when you first come, and we certainly hope that you're making your plans to be with us during this homestand. Joe Simpson hitting at .256. With the 4 RBIs, will be next to test Mr. Alexander in this scoreless game. Joe up on the knob of the bat a little bit. And the pitch. A fastball, strike on the outside corner. 0-1. First time we have seen this umpiring quartet since the opening series at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. The 1-strike pitch, low and outside, 1-1. Bill Haller, the umpire crew chief. Ken Kaiser behind the plate tonight. Jerry Newdecker at first, Haller at second, and George Maloney around at third. The 1-1 pitch to Simpson, and it's a ground ball hit to the first baseman. Right there's big John Mayberry down with that scoop, goes to the bag in plenty of time, and the M's are 1-2-3'd here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And after 2, no score.
Leading out the Yankees, third inning.
What a night to be at the Kingdom. A chance to see history-made baseball history. Dave Niehaus with Ken Wilson, no score as we move to the 3rd inning of play, and Russell Dent the 3rd. We'll start it off for New York, and for the play, here's the captain.
All right, Tap. Bucky, as he's sometimes known, is batting 182. Facing Gaylord Perry, who has allowed 2 hits. Both came with 2 outs. And the 43-year-old right-hander winds. Here's his pitch. It's a breaking ball, low and outside, ball 1. In the first with 2 down, Jerry Mumphrey tripled to right center and died at third when John Mayberry, in his first New York Yankee at-bat, popped to short. Then last inning with 2 down, Roy Smalley spanked a single to right, but Rick Cerrone tapped out. Dent struggling with the wood. Right-handed hitter. The pitch to him is popped up. Back of first. Mailer, Julio Cruz now into foul territory. Mailer calls. He waits. He's got it. And Gaylord Perry is 2 1/3 innings along on his way to victory number 300. Dent fouls out, and that'll bring up the Yanks' leadoff hitter, Willie Randolph. He grounded to Mailer routinely in the first inning. Willie leads this club in walks. Most managers like to see that in the leadoff hitter, and he's had a very good year with the bat. He's at .337. Right-handed hitter with a straightaway stance. Randolph is well away from home plate. Castillo at third, Mailer at first, playing rather shallow. The outfield gives him left center. Gaylord Perry delivers. Slider strike on the outside corner. Good pitch. Gaylord in his first 5 starts has 2 complete games, 2 wins, 2 losses, and an ERA of 3.72. No score, top of the 3rd at the Kingdome. The 1-strike pitch. Low and outside, 1-1. Tomorrow night, Floyd Bannister and Mike Morgan, 7:35. Same time Saturday night, Jim Beattie against Ron Guidry. And then a 7:05 game on Sunday evening, Gene Nelson against Tommy John. The pitch on the way, and it's fouled back. A ball, a couple of strikes on Randolph. Everything over now in the National League. This afternoon at Montreal, the Dodgers defeated the Expos 3-2. Tonight, the Giants got 2 in the 9th at Shea Stadium to defeat the Mets 5-3. And at Philadelphia, the Phils outslugged the Padres 12-7. No score here at the Dome in the 3rd. Perry's pitch, a fastball, sinks low. 2-2. Gaylord pounds the ball into his glove, standing behind the rubber. Now goes to the face. Now plants the right foot in the middle of the slab. The left foot in the first base end. It rocks behind the rubber. Now the pitch on the way. A ground ball bolted to 3rd. Deep. Castillo. High throw over Mailer. 1 hop off the stands. It'll ricochet down into the bullpen. And into 2nd will go Randolph. Up with the ball is Al Cowens, throwing it in. A routine play, but Manny Castillo couldn't get the job done. An error by the rookie 3rd baseman, Manny Castillo. Undoubtedly rushed his throw a little bit, and it just sailed over the head of Jim Mailer. First error of the night, and with no score, Randolph at 2nd base, 1 out in the Yanks 3rd, and at the plate, Ken Griffey. Griffey, a left-handed hitter, wears number 6. Chokes up maybe half an inch on a blonde bat. M's play him to pull. From the set, Gaylord Perry, and a fastball fouled to the screen. 1 strike on Griffey. Al Cowens is playing an extremely deep right field. He's about 2 long strides from the warning track. Julio Cruz is back of the rim by about 9 feet on the outfield grass, and Mailer's extremely deep at first. The stretch by Gaylord Perry, the set and the delivery. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. A fastball that he just took something off, and very quickly Perry is ahead on Griffey, 2 strikes. And Griffey steps out and says something to home plate umpire Ken Kaiser, and one could only imagine it has something to do with some foreign substance that Griffey might be figuring that Gaylord Perry is applying to the baseball. With 1 out, Randolph leads from 2nd. Griffey lines one foul down the left field line. 2 strikes on Griffey. The Yankees center fielder Jerry Mumphrey is on deck. He has one of the Yanks' 2 hits. Perry looking out at the outfield, now turns and gets ready to work to Griffey. The set, check of the runner, and here it comes. A change, loop to right, a base hit. Griffey was reaching out, up with the ball. Cowens, they'll hold Randolph. The throw is not cut off. It's right on the money. Runners at 1st and 3rd for the Yanks. Randolph moves up only 90 feet. They have to respect the rifle arm of Al Cowens in right. Perry with 2 strikes on Griffey went to a real off-speed pitch, and Ken out in front, but able to hold the bat out over the hitting area long enough to just loop it into right field softly. Randolph at 3rd, Griffey at 1st. The Yankees now have 3 hits, and they've got a big threat here with 1 down in the 3rd inning for Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey with a triple in the 1st. First pitch to Mumphrey, grounded up the middle, back a second. Todd Cruz gloves to Julio Cruz, 1 out to 1st, double play, and Perry's out of the 3rd. 3. Mumphrey grounds into a third inning ending double play. No runs for the Yanks, 1 hit, 1 Mariner error, and 1 Yankee left on. After 2.5, there's no... Ken Wilson along with Dave Niehaus at the Kingdome in Seattle. There's no score through 2.5. The Yanks no runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Yanks have left 3. The Mariners no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and they've left 1. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the M's here in the third. Jim Mailer, Terry Bulling, and Julio Cruz against Doyle Alexander. Well, we talk about Jim Beattie going against Ron Guidry, a tremendous pitching matchup here on Saturday night. And we hope you'll be out. It'll be funny nose glasses night here at the Kingdome on Saturday night. Mailer takes a pitch low and outside, ball 1. Each and every one of you entering the Kingdome Saturday night will receive a pair of funny nose glasses, courtesy of the Seattle Times. Mom, dad, sister, brother, all your friends in funny nose glasses. Can you imagine? Should be a great, great time. The M's and the Yanks Saturday night. Fly ball to left center on a 1-0 pitch. It's deep. Back is Mumphrey. It's off the top of the wall. Bounds by him. The left fielder running it down Winfield to second. Mailer. He's chugging on to third. The ball is thrown into the infield, and Mailer has a stand-up triple. Leads off the Mariner third with a long fly ball triple high off the wall in left center field, and he missed a home run by less than a foot. The Mariners have 2 hits against Alexander, both for extra bases. Bhakti socked a ringing double to right center with 2 down in the first. So the Mariners have their first base runner as far as third in this scoreless game. And here's Terry Bulling, the right-handed hitting catcher. Smalley plays even with a bag at third. Mayberry likewise at first. The middle of the infield back as Bulling fouls one out of play. 1 strike. The outfield is straight away on Bulling, who checks in with third base coach Chuck Cottier. It certainly wouldn't be beyond Rene Latchman to try the suicide squeeze. He'd probably like to do it more on a big night like this than any other time. The set by Alexander. Mailer leads from third. The pitch on the way. Swung on and tapped foul. It'll trickle down the third baseline. And third base coach Chuck Cottier comes up with it. 2 strikes on Mailer. Say 2 strikes on Bulling with Mailer at third. On deck, Julio Cruz. The Yanks twice already have had a runner as far as third. Mumphrey in the first doubled, or tripled rather, off Gaylord Perry with 2 down. And Willie Randolph reached base on a 2-base error by Manny Castillo in the third and got to third on Ken Griffey's hit, but died there. The pitch grounded foul down the third baseline. Mailer ducks and it hops right over him. 2 strikes, the count. Bulling the hitter. Mailer at third. Nobody out in the Mariners' third inning. So opportunities for both clubs here early in this game. The set by Doyle Alexander, and here it comes. Ground ball up the middle, hits Alexander, goes high in the air, over the head of Randolph into center field, and scoring is Mailer. Bulling comes through. It's 1-0 Seattle. Mailer leads off the third with a long triple, and Bulling bangs a ground ball right up the middle. It hit the wrist or left hand of pitcher Doyle Alexander. May have gone off his glove into center. Here's Julio Cruz. He bunts at the first pitch, doesn't get it. A strike call. Mayberry charging from first. Smalley coming in from third. 1-0 Mariners. Well, the 8 and 9 hitters do it. Mailer breaking an 0 for 18 slump with his leadoff triple. Check of the runner. Now the pitch to Julio. Fastball outside, and Julio ready to swing away that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Bud Bulling, his 3rd RBI this season, and all of them have been against the Yankees. He has the lead at first. Mayberry holding him on. Yanks looking for 2. The pitch, Julio's ready to bunt, deadens it down the third baseline. Cerrone has it, looks to second, goes to first, not in time. It goes off Randolph's glove into the bullpen in right field. To third, Boulding, they're going to hold him up. To second, Julio Cruz, and the throw in from the bullpen to Rick Cerrone. A great bunt by Julio Cruz. And when Cerrone pounced on it down the third baseline, he thought second, looked to second, and then went to first. And Julio Cruz was bearing down on Willie Randolph, and the ball deflected from first base off the glove of Randolph into the right field bullpen. And Boulding ends up at third base. Cruz is at second base. Still nobody out. And the hitter is Manny Castillo. It'll be a throwing error on the catcher Cerrone. Castillo swings and misses. 1 strike. Give Julio Cruz a sacrifice. Give Cerrone an error. And each club has committed an error. Up the middle, the Yankee infield back. Smalley even with a bag at third. And Mayberry not that deep at first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch to Castillo in the dirt. Blocked by Cerrone. He's just able to keep it in front of him. A ball and a strike on Castillo. Out of the box, looking down to Chuck Cottier. Bud Boulding at third. Julio Cruz at second base. Castillo bounced out in the first. Batting .220. Switch hitter up there left-handed, and he's ready. The pitch up to the plate is a fastball looped to left center. It may drop. Dent going out. He won't get it. It's in there. Boulding scores. Here comes Julio Cruz. They're going to hold him up. Down to second with a throw going home is Castillo, and it's 2-0 Mariners. Alexander, who is backing up the plate, trudging out to the mound now. A Texas League single for Castillo. Playing it on a hop Winfield. Julio Cruz held on at third after Boulding came in to score. Winfield threw home and wasn't cut off, and that enabled Castillo to go to second base. So same situation for Bhakti that Castillo faced. Nobody out. M's at second and third. And it's 2-0 Seattle. Boulding and Castillo with the RBIs. Bhakti looking for his 11th RBI here. Alexander's first pitch to the left-handed hitter is fouled off the catcher, Rick Cerrone. 1 strike on Bhakti. Well, you know that Gaylord Perry has to be beaming down in that third base dugout. All of a sudden, he's got a 2-0 lead here in the third as he goes for his 300th lifetime win. Zisk will follow Bhakti, who doubled against Alexander in the first. A slider low and inside, a ball and a strike on Bruce. The infield back everywhere for New York except at third, where Smalley's even with a bag. The outfield is very much straight away and quite spread out on Bhakti. The 1-1 pitch to the plate. Swung on, popped up, off third, foul territory. Smalley and Dent giving chase. Smalley has a play. He makes the catch. And his throw to the plate, and everybody holds on, and Cerrone has to block it on a short hop. That's a situation where Smalley would have been a lot better off to run the ball back in, but he tossed it home, and Cerrone found himself in a precarious situation. For Doyle Alexander, that's a huge first out. And that'll bring up the Mariners' cleanup hitter, Richie Zisk. Zisk lined sharply to Mumphrey in the first inning. Richie struggling a bit with the bat. He's 1 for his last 13. And his average now has dipped to 298. The M's have scored 2 here in the third off Alexander and the Yankees. With 1 out, they have Julio Cruz at third, Manny Castillo at second base. Now Mayberry plays about even with the bag at first for Zisk. They're back up the middle. The slider low and outside, scooped up by Cerrone. Smalley is moved back a little bit at third, and the outfield plays Zisk to pull. Jim Mailer let it all off here in the third with a fly ball that just missed going out in left center. It went for a triple, and for Mailer, the end to an 0 for 18 slump. The pitch to Zisk, low in the dirt. 2-0 the count on Ritchie. Then Mailer came in on Bulling's ground single to center off the glove of Doyle Alexander. Julio Cruz dropped a bunt. Catcher Rick Cerrone threw it away. Cruz ended up at second. Bowling at third. Line drive foul down the left field line, and Julio Cruz hit the deck that time. He was about right on the line, and it was foul as it went by. He had to kind of lean in and dive to avoid it. Then Manny Castillo, a Texas League single to left center to score Bowling. Julio went to third. Castillo to second on the throw. Now with one out, Zisk up. The fastball in for a strike. Knee high on the inside corner. 2-2 on Ritchie. The runners lead at third and second. The set by the veteran Alexander. The right-hander's pitch, swing and a miss. Ritchie is out of there. Looked like a forkball that time from Doyle Alexander. An off-speed pitch, sinking over the inside corner. Resembled quite a bit a Gaylord Perry forkball. Second strikeout for Alexander. Two Mariners in scoring position with two outs for Todd Cruz, who fanned in the second. Swing and a miss. One strike on Todd. The Mariners have scored two here in the third. They lead the Yanks 2-0. Gaylord Perry scattering 3 hits over the first 3 innings in his bid for number 300. Here's the pitch. The one strike offering is fouled at the plate. Todd is in the hole 0-2. Yanks have played 8 games on the road. They've had good success out of Yankee Stadium. They're 5-3 on the road. Only 4-10 at home. And you know the story of the Yankees' struggle over the years to win games here. Doyle Alexander tugs at his cap. Working on Todd Cruz. He's ahead with 2 strikes. Mariners at second and third with 2 down in the third. Todd Cruz, a right-handed hitter. The pitch to him is lined over Randolph into right center field. That'll score 1. Julio's in, cutting it off Griffey. Here comes the second man, Castillo. He scores. It's a single for Todd Cruz. The Mariners lead it 4-0. Cruz just went with that pitch down low, slamming it over Randolph on a line into right center. Yankee right fielder Ken Griffey made an exceptional play to get over and cut it off. But with 2 down, Julio Cruz scores easily from third, and Manny Castillo races in from second. Here's Al Collins, and he takes the first offering low and outside, ball 1. The Mariners explode in the third for 4. They lead the Yanks 4-0. Throw to first, and Todd Cruz is back. The Yankee outfield, Winfield, Mumphrey, Griffey. The infield, Smalley, Dent, Randolph, and Mayberry. The battery, Alexander and Cerrone. Throw to first. The tag by Mayberry, and Todd Cruz dives back in safely. Two RBIs for Todd Cruz give him 10. Manny Castillo and Terry Bowling, the other RBIs this inning. Fastball right down the middle to Al Collins, 1-1. 4 in the third for the Mariners. 4-0 Seattle. Collins straightaway stance, right-handed hitter against the veteran Doyle Alexander. Here's his delivery. It's a breaking ball, low and outside. 2-1. The Mariners tonight beginning their second homestand. Played brilliantly the first time around, winning 7 of 10. Trying to kick off this 11-game homestand with a victory tonight. The pitch on the way. It's a little bit low. Cowens had a notion and held back. 3 balls, a strike on Al Cowens. Doyle Alexander flips the ball up in the air from his right hand, catches it in the bare hand, places the ball in his glove, takes his cap off, puts it back on, now plants the right foot in front of the rubber and looks in to catcher Rick Cerrone. Todd Cruz leads from first, draws a throw, and he's back easily. The set. The 3-1 pitch ripped over Randolph into right center field. It'll go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Cowens. Todd Cruz will score all the way from first. Cowens around second. He's heading for third. Randolph's throw not in time. Al Cowens a triple. 5-0 Mariners. Well, these fans at the Kingdom really beginning to feel now that they're sitting in on history. Left-hander Rudy May in the bullpen. They're going to stay with Doyle Alexander. The 9th man to bat for the Mariners in the third is Joe Simpson. So Cowens at third, 2 down, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Bowling, Castillo, and Cowens each have an RBI. Todd Cruz, who scored on Cowens' triple, has 2 of them. Here's a little pop-up back at third. Smalley is under it, and he makes the catch. Simpson is gone. The Mariners bat around, and what a handful they get for Gaylord Perry. In the third inning, 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 Yankee error, 1 Mariner left. And after 3 tonight, as we all sit in on history, it's the Mariners 5, the Yankees nothing. Wow, what a night at the Kingdom. Glad to have you with us, either here listening to the game or wherever you may be in the Northwest. 5-0 Mariners, 4th inning, and here's Dave.
All right, Kenny, and big John Mayberry leads it off for the New York Yankees, and the pitch by Gaylord, a curve strike, in and over, 0-1, and these fans are going to be itchy on every pitch from here on out with that big 5-0 lead. Mariners, Mayberry, Winfield, and Gamble in that order against the 43-year-old wonder from Williamston, North Carolina. The graybeard of the major leagues into the wind, and the 1-strike pitch on the way outside. A fastball, 1 ball, and 1 strike to count on Mayberry. A big 5-run uprising by the M's. And the man who got it started, the kid from Florida who was 0 for his last 18, Jimmy Mailer, led it off with a triple. And it looked like that Alexander was going to get out of the inning with not too much damage having been done. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Mayberry, and it's a breaking ball, a fork ball perhaps, down low and inside, 2-1, because the Mariners had 2 in, only 2 in, and runners at second and third and nobody out before Todd Cruz, with 2 strikes on him, rifled a shot into right center to drive in 2 more, and then Al Cowens drove in Todd Cruz with a triple up the gap in right center. So it is 5-0 Mariners. The wind by Gaylord and the 2-1 pitch, and it's a fastball, strike, 2 call, 2-2 the count. The Big John. And Gene Michael all over the home plate umpire, Kenny Kaiser, and Kaiser staring over toward the New York Yankee bench. He thought the pitch was high. 2-2 the count. Now Gaylord bending down. And the 2-2 pitch on the way to Mayberry. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Strikeout number 3. Make it number 2. Number 2 for Gaylord Perry. And that'll bring up Dave Winfield. Winfield struck out in the 2nd inning. Fans, if you don't have a Chevron National Travel Card, you think of what you may be missing. Over 10,000 Chevron stations that offer high-quality gasolines and motor oils, plus budget terms on tires, batteries, and car care service. Apply today for your card at any Chevron station. Chevron wants your credit card business. Dave Niehaus with Ken Wilson at the Dome, where the M's enjoy a 5-0 lead in the early going. We're in the 4th. Gaylord Perry into the wind. The delivery on the way now to Winfield, and it swung on a tapper off the glove of Perry to the shortstop Cruz. He fires and they get it. Well, if Todd Cruz didn't have that arm, there's no way they get Winfield. But Gaylord Perry, very agile, got his glove on the ball, deflected it to Todd Cruz, and the play goes 1-6-3 on Dave Winfield. 2 down in the 4th. And that'll bring up Oscar Gamble. He hit a fly ball deep to Joe Simpson in center field. Back in the 2nd inning. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Mariners. No runs, 3 hits for the New York Yankees. Perry bending at the waist. Into the wind, the delivery on the way to Gamble, and the slider is in and over for a strike. 0-1. I think in terms of Gaylord Perry and his 300th victory, also in terms of a shutout, a little early to be talking about a shutout, although he does have the Yankees shut out here in the 4th with 2 down. He's right up on that list, too. He's number 12 in all-time shutouts. The 1-strike pitch, and Gamble sends a little looper into left center field. Bhakti charges in. Bruce is there. He's got it. 3 up and 3 down for the New York Yankees in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 3.5 gone. The Mariners 5, the Yankees nothing. Bottom half of inning number 4 here at the Kingdom. Dave Niehaus with Ken Wilson, and here's Baby Huey. And the young man who had gone 0 for 18 and had a horrendous road trip is a man who started the spark for Gaylord Perry and the Mariners in the 3rd with a triple into the gap in left center field. And Rudy May will take over, the veteran southpaw, with a starter Doyle Alexander, who went 3, gave up 5 runs, only 1 of which was earned, 6 hits, and he struck out 2. Jimmy Mailer right down on the knob of that bat. Rudy May into the wind, and the veteran southpaw's pitch is a fastball low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Jimmy Mailer. The outfield about straight away for Mailer. The 1-0 pitch by the dude, and the fastball is fouled back and out of play. I'll tell you, Rudy May told me while we were in New York that he and his bride had purchased 10 acres of raw land in Hawaii, Cap. What's that go for, about $25 an acre?
Yeah, I think it's $26.95 every 2 acres.
Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, and Mailer takes a strike at the knees. 1-2 the count, right there on the big island of Hawaii, I guess. Beachfront property. He said after buying the property, I didn't have any money left to build a house, so all I got is raw land. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Mailer, and it's taken high. Ball 2, 2-2. Pretty nice, huh?
Depends a little bit on locale, but I think he's got a future hotel development there. Maybe you and I get together and build a hotel for him.
Get a bungalow. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Mailer, and it swung on it, missed, and down Jimmy goes. So May strikes out the first man to face him, and here is Bud Bulling. Well, you talk about a kid that had to learn a lot as a youngster, and thinking in terms of maturation. Rudy May, when he first came up with the California Angels, threw the ball hard, had a tremendous temper, and really settled down. Bud Bulling, a base hit in the 3rd inning. Well, the Bull seems to hit well when Gaylord pitches, doesn't he? He had a big double last Friday. And the pitch on the way to Bulling, a slider down low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The crowd, the big crowd, kind of sitting back and just savoring the moment right now. 5-0 Mariners, and May's pitch on the way to Bulling, down low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the wind by Rudy May, the 2-0 pitch on the way, and the Bulling sends a ground ball 1-hopper right at the shortstop Bucky Dent, and he'll throw him out. 2 down in the Mariner 4th. And here's Julio Cruz, who has grounded out to second. And then, of course, the cruiser bunted the ball out in front of the plate with Bulling at first base in the 3rd inning. And Rick Cerrone threw it down the right field line. It got by Big John Mayberry. Cruz ended up at second base. And Bulling at 3rd. The pitch to Julio, a swing and a foul tip off the mask of the catcher, Rick Cerrone, 0-1. And then after Bhakti fouled out and Zisk struck out, Todd Cruz with 2 strikes on him hit a shot for a base hit into right center to drive in 2, and then Cowens tripled. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Julio, hit off the head of the stick, foul, 0-2 the count. New York has lost 2 in a row and 3 of their last 5, and have yet to hit double figures in the win column this year. And this their 23rd game. The 2-strike pitch to Julio, and the breaking ball a bit low and inside. Curve ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6 hits for the M's, 3 for New York. You'll get a chance to see Floyd Bannister and Mike Morgan tomorrow night. Rudy May into the wind. The 1-2 pitch now to Julio, and the curve is pulled foul down the left field line, where the Mariner ball boy will get it on a carom. Now Rudy May ready to come in, and the 1-2 pitch, and it's a curve foul at the plate. Cruz just got a piece of it. This Mariners game being brought to you by the Farmers Insurance Group. If you're looking for ways to lower the cost of your auto, your home, or life insurance, see your fast, fair, friendly Farmers agent soon. 1-2 on Julio Cruz with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-2 pitch, and the fastball is hit to the right side by the mound. Willie Randolph waits for it to come to him. It does, and he throws him out. And the Mariners are gone 1-2-3 in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. But all eyes out there 60 feet 6 inches away. Every time that the Mariners take defense, Gaylord Perry goes into the 5th with a 5-0 lead.
Welcome back to MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. It was believed by many that Gaylord Perry needed this 300th career victory to validate his Hall of Fame candidacy. After all, 14 men prior to Perry had reached the 300-win plateau, and everyone found themselves enshrined in Cooperstown. The Ancient Mariner, as Perry was known back then, finished his career with 314 victories. Who knows how many more he could have won had he not been relegated to bullpen duty, having made 79 relief appearances over the first 4 years of his Major League odyssey. Let's now get you back out to the top of the 5th inning at the Kingdome as Gaylord Perry continues his quest towards career win number 300.
Roy Smalley, Rick Cerrone, Bucky Dent in the 5th as Gaylord Perry is 15 outs away from becoming a baseball immortal. He has a 5-0 lead. Roy Smalley, a line drive base hit in the 2nd inning off Gaylord with 2 down. Batting left-handed. Big gap in left center field. The wind by Perry in the pitch. A breaking ball swung on and missed. And I'm here to tell you that Roy Smalley was a foot out in front of that ball. 0-1 the count. Smalley with 11 Kingdome home runs. That's #1 for visiting players here over 5 years. The 1-strike pitch on the way to Roy, and it's way inside this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baltimore and California are in the 4th, and the Angels lead the Orioles 2-1. Jim Palmer was removed in that ball game in the 1st inning by Tippy Martinez. There's the wind, and the 1-1 pitch on the way to Smalley. Now it's a curve pull foul up the first base line down toward the visitors' bullpen area. It'll bounce off the boards and go all the way out to right field, where Al Cowens will pick it up. 1-2 the count. Milwaukee beat the Minnesota Twins 6-3, and the Texas Rangers, believe it or not, have now lost 12 in a row as the Red Sox beat them 5-2 in Texas tonight before only 8,737. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Roy Smalley, and it's a curve swung on and popped up. Shallow center field, charging in, Joe Simpson. He's there, the slender Oklahoman waiting, and makes the grab. 1 down in the 5th. And with 1 away, here's Cerrone, who tapped back to the mound to end the 2nd inning. The Yankees' only real threat came in the 3rd when Willie Randolph hit a routine ground ball to Manny Castillo, and Castillo threw it away. Randolph was at 2nd. Then Ken Griffey singled sharply to right, so sharply that Randolph was held at 3rd. But the old man up to it. We got Jerry Mumphrey on an inning-ending 6-4-3 twin killing. Since that time, he has retired 5 in a row. The pitch to Cerrone, a fastball a bit high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Cleveland is at Oakland tonight, and the A's with a 3-0 lead over the Indians in the third. Oakland has won 6 in a row. John Denny against Steve McCaddy for Oakland. 1-0 on Cerrone. Here's the rock by Gaylord, and the 1-0 pitch on the way, and it's swung on and fouled at the plate. It's a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The National League has been put to bed. The Dodgers in an afternoon game beat the Montreal Expos 3-2. Gary Carter's 2 solo home runs, the only 2 runs for Montreal, is 4th and 5th. The Giants beat the New York Mets at Shea Stadium 5-3, and the Phillies beat the San Diego Padres 12-7 in Philadelphia. Marysville's Larry Christensen got the win. He is 2-3 on the year. Gaylord, underneath side of that cap, side of his face, nods all right. Gaylord goes into the wind. The 1-1 pitch on the way now, and it's a slider just outside. Yep, it is a strike. 1-2 the count as Ken Kaiser slowly brings that right arm out. 1-2 the count to Cerrone. Perry is ready. Big right-hander into the wind, and the 1-2 pitch on the way now, and it's a curve, swung on and missed, and down he goes. 3 strikeouts for Gaylord, and that'll bring up Bucky Dent, who fouled out to first back in the 3rd inning. As we mentioned, President Reagan called Gaylord and wished him luck in yesterday afternoon's press conference, and just before the ball game tonight, former President Richard Nixon called Gaylord Perry and wished him his best from New York City. Dent waving at Wood back and forth. The outfield straight away. 5-0 Mariners. We're in the 5th. The pitch to Dent. A fastball for a strike on the outside corner on 1. Gaylord again gets set, and the 1-strike pitch to Bucky Dent, and it's a curve outside this time. 1-1. I just got a call from my old partner in Chicago, Don Drysdale, and Drysdale wanted to know how Perry was doing, and if Perry did not get a decision tonight, at least a winning decision, the White Sox were going to send their ex-300 game winner, the last man to do it, early win out here next Tuesday night to broadcast the game back to Chicago. Gaylord's hoping he won't get the chance. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped up. Shallow left field. Charging in is Bruce Bochy. Waiting and waiting and waiting. He's there, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Gaylord Perry, who has retired the last 7 Yankees in a row. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Perry receiving a standing ovation as he comes back to the Mariner dugout. At the end of 4 1/2, the Mariners 5, the Yankees nothing. Castillo grounded his second, and he looped a little parachute job over Bucky Dent into left field to pick up an RBI, his 10th of the year, in the fateful 3rd for the M's. So he is 1 for 2, hitting at 228. Castillo turns around and bats from the other side now, the right-hand side. And he's wearing number 12 on the back of that white Mariner uniform and sends a deep fly to left center, but Winfield is there back near the warning track. The wall leaps up and makes the grab right in front of the Mariners logo. Castillo hits the ball hard, but to Winfield and left. And that'll bring up Bruce Bochy. Bochy a double in the 1st inning. Hit the ball on 1 hop off the wall, and it fouled out. The 3rd baseman Roy Smalley in the 3rd. So he is 1 for 2, and he has hit in 14 of his last 17 games. The wind and the pitch to Bochy, a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Don't forget tomorrow night now, Floyd Bannister and Mike Morgan, the 2nd game of this 4-game series. Saturday night is Funny Nose Glasses night. You're going to have a lot of fun with those. Hope you'll come out and join all the fun. The 1-strike pitch swung on, and a ground ball hit to the 3rd baseman off Smalley's glove. He straightens up, picks it up, throws to first, and just in time to get Bochy. Smalley kept that body in front of the ball. So 2 down in the Mariner 5th. And here's Richie Zisk, a fly ball to deep center and a strikeout in the 3rd. Zisk's batting average at .295 as he stands there. The wind by Rudy May, and the dude's pitch is a change this time. That's down low, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Rudy May's 1-0 delivery now, and it's a curve that gets a piece of the inside corner. 1-1. Dave Winfield just about a step off that warning track and left. He's halfway out of the stadium. The 1-1 pitch swung on and belted deep to left center. Back is Mumphrey to the warning track. He's to the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Zist to second base. He'll make the turn there, and Winfield comes up with it in center field. Richie Zist's a double. With 2 down here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Todd Cruz. And you for station identification, this is the Mariners Radio Network.
Can the Dream Doctor really help you? Yes, she can, because your dreams are trying to tell you something. This is Joe Lyons. Join Dr. Gail Delaney and me for Dream Talk, weekday afternoons from 4 to 7 here on KVI, Seattle.
Todd Cruz, the big base hit in the 3rd inning when the M's had 2, and it looked like that's all they were going to get. He had 2 strikes on him, and then went with a fastball from Alexander and laced it into right center to pick up 2 very big runs. The pitch to Todd, and there is the strike at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Richie Zisk at second base with 2 down. 5-0 M's. May ready? The 1-strike pitch to Todd Cruz now. This time it's a breaking ball, and Cruz went efficient, came up empty, and he's in the hole 0-2. Todd tried to hold up and couldn't do it. Well, he did it last time with 2 strikes. Can he do it this time? The 0-2 pitch on the way to Todd Cruz now from Rudy May, and it's a sinker down low, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chuck Cottier coaching down at 3rd. Veda Pinson over at 1st for the M's. Todd with that dark stained bat right down on the knob. The 1-2 pitch to Todd now from Rudy May. And here she comes, and it's a breaking ball. Down he goes, swung on and missed, and that'll take care of the M's in the 5th. For Rudy May, his 2nd strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 5-0 Mariners. Dave Niehaus with Ken Wilson at the Kingdome, where Gaylord Perry now is 12 outs away from his 300th victory. 5-0 Mariners, to the 6th. Kenny.
All right, Dave, top of the order, Willie Randolph. He bounced out in the 1st inning, and then topped a bounder down to Castillo in the 3rd, and the Mariners' 3rd baseman threw it away, and Randolph ended up at second base. First pitch, a curve outside and low, ball 1. In that inning, Randolph then went to 3rd base with 1 out on Ken Griffey's looping line drive single to right. But Perry, with runners at 1st and 3rd and 1 out, got Jerry Mumphrey to bounce into a 6-4-3 double play. There's a fastball in for a strike. 1-1 on Willie Randolph. So Randolph perished at 3rd base in the 3rd inning. Jerry Mumphrey, with 2 outs in the 1st, tripled, and he died at 3rd. Gaylord now has retired 7 in a row. The 43-year-old right-hander dishes it up. A hard slider just outside. 2 balls and a strike. For Gaylord Perry, his first try for his 300th win. He won his 299th last Friday night against the Yanks in New York. He is 13-12 career against the Yankees. He has a 5-0 lead here at the Kingdome. Fastball high. Randolph almost went fishing. 3 balls, a strike. Gaylord has had great control tonight. He has not walked anyone. He has struck out 3. He needs now only 142 strikeouts to become Major League Baseball's all-time strikeout king. The 3-1 pitch on the way to Randolph. Strike call in the outside corner. The Mariners did all their scoring in the 3rd off Doyle Alexander, the Yankee starter. Gaylord is ready, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, tap towards the mound, charging down off the hill. Perry, he fields, throws, gets it. Good play. Gaylord Perry has now retired 8 Yankees in succession. The Mariners trying to hand the Yanks their 3rd straight loss.
Right fielder, Ken Griffey.
Left-handed hitting Ken Griffey is grounded out and singled to right. His single came on an off-speed 2-strike pitch. Changed, belted, but foul down the right field line into the 2nd level, the 200 level here at the Kingdome, foul by 20 to 25 feet. Well, the Yankees coming into this series 9 wins, 13 defeats, with only 2 teams behind them in the American League East, Toronto and Baltimore. They're both a game behind the Yankees. Toronto idle tonight, and Baltimore at California 2-2 after 5½. So if the Yanks lose here and the Birds win, it only leaves Toronto behind the Yankees. Foul out of play. And as he was in the 3rd, Gaylord Perry is in front of Griffey here in the 6th inning. 2 strikes. Perry kicks at the rubber, looking out to the outfield, kicks with both feet, now turns back towards the plate, takes his right hand, fidgets with his face, then wipes his fingers through the hair near his right ear. Both feet now on the slab. He's ready to go, looking into Terry Bulling. Gaylord Perry's pitch to Griffey, a high, tight fastball, 1-2. And you know that Perry, better than anyone, knows that last time that Griffey got the hit on the off-speed 2-strike pitch, so he just went the opposite way, up and in with heat. The Mariners play Griffey to pull. The ex-Cincinnati Red up there with a blonde bat, straightaway stance. Here it comes. Swing and a foul in front of the plate. Is it fair or foul? It's kicked by Bulling. Fair ball. And the throw by Bulling to first in time. A little nubber right by the plate. And Bulling blocked the view for us. And all of a sudden, Ken Kaiser said fair ball. And Bud Bulling, the M's catcher, went out for it. He kicked it away towards the mound, picked it up and threw to first. And now we're going to have a monumental beef. Third base coach Joe Altobelli. First base coach Mike Ferraro. Yankee skipper Gene Michael from the dugout. Here comes third base umpire George Maloney in. And we're going to bring Griffey back. We're going to bring Griffey back. They're going to call it a foul ball. It's a foul ball. Now here's Rene Latchman out. And he's really beefing with Ken Kaiser. And now Kaiser's telling Latchman that third base umpire George Maloney overruled him, and if he has a beef, he better go talk to Maloney. It was one of those drives right down into the ground. And here at the Kingdome, though it's an AstroTurf surface, there's a dirt circle at the plate. And the ball just kind of died near the plate. And then Bulling gave it a kick into fair territory accidentally. Latch loses the argument. Not an easy call for Ken Kaiser either, because he had Bulling blocking his view, at least partially. But Kaiser all the way was calling it a fair ball. Then he's overruled by third base umpire George Maloney. And with one down in the Yankees' 6th inning, the count now is a ball and 2 strikes on Ken Griffey. Perry to the plate. Fly ball to right. Could be out of here. Collins will look back, and it'll go over the 23-foot high wall into the seats, and it's 5-1 as Griffey hits it out. Needless to say, the partisan Mariner crowd, about 30,000 here at the Kingdome, not happy at all about Griffey getting a second chance. And he jumps on that second opportunity and clobbers his first home run as a New York Yankee. 5-1 Mariners, inning 6. The batter is Jerry Mumphrey. He grounds one routinely to second baseman Julio Cruz, over to Mailer, and they're 2 down. Gaylord Perry will not pitch a shutout. in his 300th career victory, at least not on May the 6th, 1982. John Mayberry, picked up yesterday in a deal that the Yankees made with the Toronto Blue Jays, has popped to short and struck out. At age 32, Mayberry was replaced at first base with Toronto this season by young Willie Upshaw. John says he just hopes to get a chance to play here. Ground ball pulled to first base deep. Mailer gloves it, goes to the bag. That'll do it. The Yanks get a run on one hit. Ken Griffey's first New York Yankee home run. No errors, nobody left after 5.5, 5-1. Ken Wilson with Dave Niehaus at the Kingdome in Seattle. In relief of Doyle Alexander, Rudy May at work. Al Collins is the hitter, and the first pitch, a breaking ball down low, ball one. Al Collins and Joe Simpson and Jim Mailer here in inning 6. 5-1 Mariners. The pitch, Collins takes it down low. Al in the Mariners' 3rd inning drove in the 5th run with a triple to right center. Todd Cruz had 2 RBIs, Manny Castillo and Terry Bulling the others. Fastball high and outside, 3-0. The Mariners 5 runs in the 3rd. And then in the top of this inning, a 1-out Ken Griffey home run over the new 23-foot high wall in right field. Fastball in for a strike, 3-1 on Collins. Alexander going 3, allowed 5 runs, only 1 of them earned on a half-dozen hits. He fanned 2. Here's a pop-up. Foul off first. Mayberry coming over. May have a play at the rail. He's there, and he's got it. Just in front of the box seats along the first baseline. Al Collins is retired. That's 1 out. Fans, this Mariners homestand includes the Yankees, the Indians, and the Orioles. It's a tremendous stand. The Yanks will be here the next 3 nights. Half-hour earlier start Sunday, 7:05. Then Cleveland Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, and then 4 a week from tonight, beginning with Baltimore, the 4-game series, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend. Joe Simpson, the hitter, he takes ball 1 down low. Give the Mariners ticket office a call at 628-3300 and purchase your tickets for this big homestand. A weak grounder pulled to Randolph. He gloves over to Mayberry, and Joe Simpson is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 up, 2 down in inning 6 for the Mariners, and here comes Jim Mailer, who led off the 3rd and ignited that 5-run rally with the Mariners batting around.
Batter number 33, first baseman Jim Mailer.
Mailer hitting .243, pops one foul off first. It'll go over the visiting Yankees dugout and back into the crowded stands. 1 strike on Jim. Mailer sat out the last game of the 8-game road trip Tuesday in Baltimore. He had played every inning this season prior to that game. He'd gone 0 for 18, and Latchman gave him a rest. Fastball strike called to knees, and Rudy May ahead 0-2. A 5-run, 5-hit 3rd inning with a Rick Cerrone throwing error thrown in has been the big story. Outside a fastball, a ball, couple of strikes on Mailer. 5-1 Mariners, inning 6 at the Kingdome. Gaylord Perry is allowed the run on 4 hits. Fastball grounded up the middle to his left, charging Bucky Dent. He has it. The toss to first, and in time. Mailer's gone. The Mariners are retired 1-2-3. And after 6 innings, Mariners 5. The Kingdome, Seattle. This is Ken Wilson along with Dave Niehaus. The Mariners and the Yankees. Among other things, it's the opener of a 4-game series. It's the first game of 11 in a row at home for the Mariners, and they went 7-3 on their first Kingdome stand this season. But more importantly than all of that, at age 43, Gaylord Perry is now 9 outs away from his 300th career win, trying to become the first pitcher to do it since Early Wynn did it in July 1963. Dave Winfield leads off and belts a fly ball to left center. Not that deep. Simpson under it. The M center fielder grabs it, and there's one away. The Yanks have had only one base runner since the third, and that was Griffey's one-out home run last inning to right field, accounting for New York's only tally. 5-1 Mariners.
The batter number 17, Oscar Gamble.
Here's the Yanks DH, Oscar Gamble. He's flied out twice. Perry has not walked anyone. He has struck out 3. And becoming the all-time Major League Baseball strikeout king, I'm sure, is his next goal. Change in for a strike on the left-handed hitter. Gaylord now needs 142 strikeouts to become the strikeout king. He has averaged about 6 strikeouts per start this season with the Mariners. He has an outstanding opportunity of reaching that goal before the end of this 1982 season. He has been outstanding. The pitch is low to Gamble, a ball and a strike. A team game. That's truly what baseball is. Yet this game, founded back in the 1800s, has left plenty of room for the individual. And tonight the spotlight is on Gaylord Perry. The 1-1 pitch, grounded up the middle. Todd Cruz has it. Man with a rifle arm throws low, scooped out by Mailer, the rookie at first base. A dazzling play. Gamble is gone. 2 down in the Yanks' 7th inning. That brings up ex-Texas Ranger and Minnesota Twin Roy Smalley. He has one of New York's hits. A 2-out 2nd inning single. Jerry Mumphrey tripled with 2 outs in the first. Ken Griffey had a single in the 3rd, then his home run in the 6th inning. And that's been the story offensively for the Yanks. Smalley batting .232. Switch hitter up there left, fouls one out of play down the left field line. So many things you can say about Gaylord Perry. Trying to become, obviously, the first pitcher in 19 years to win 300 games. Trying to become only the 3rd hurler in 40 years to win 300 games. Only Warren Spahn has more wins in the post-World War II era. And Perry, by far, is the leading winner in the post-expansion era, 1961 to the present day. He heaves it up. It's a sinker down low. A ball and a strike on Roy Smalley with 2 outs, nobody on. Yanks 7th. The Mariners up by 4. And second base umpire Bill Haller will come and examine the ball, and the crowd reacts. Nothing is going to faze Gaylord Perry tonight. Haller gives the ball back to Gaylord. Smalley ready at the plate. Slightly closed stance. Holds the blonde bat right on the end. Here's the 1-1 delivery. A fastball high. 2 balls a strike. Gaylord Perry, the first man ever to win Cy Young awards in both leagues. Now the home plate umpire, Ken Kaiser, examines the baseball, and they keep it in play. He won his first game in 1962. Gaylord Perry. He's lost 241 along the way, but tonight going for 300 wins. Fastball, strike call. 2-2. Nothing doctored about that pitch. He just reared back and said, I can still hum it, youngster, and blazes the fastball in. Nobody on, 2 away. Yanks 7th. They trail by 4. Here's Gaylord Perry's 2-2 pitch to Roy Smalley outside. A full count. Of course, this is a big year for the senior citizens in Major League Baseball. Perry, one of 7 big leaguers today, 40 years old or more. Of course, he's the oldest at age 43. He's a month senior to Jim Cott of the Cardinals. 3-2 pitch. Fastball high. Gaylord Perry, with 2 outs in the 7th, issues his first walk. That'll bring up Yank catcher Rick Cerrone, who's bounced to the mound and fanned. About 30,000 at the Kingdome tonight. No official paid attendance has yet been announced. Jim Mailer will hold the runner at first, Roy Smalley. The infield very deep, the outfield deep to left on Cerrone. Rick takes a fastball just inside, ball one. And this crowd following every pitch as intently as a crowd will ever do that in a Major League Baseball game. Every pitch seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the ninth inning looms nearer. The set, the delivery. Pop up, foul out over the Mariner dugout along third base, way back in the crowd. I think, beyond all else, when you talk about Gaylord Perry, you have to talk about a man with determination, a real battler, a gutsy fighter out in that rather small circle in the middle of the baseball diamond. And he wants to pitch a complete game here, along with winning his 300th. He's 7 outs away. Check swing. The ball hits the bat of Cerrone and trickles over to the Yank dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mariners scored 5 times in the 3rd. They lead it 5-1 in the 7th. Gaylord Perry has gone all the way. With 2 outs, the Yanks have Smalley at first. And this big crowd wants a strikeout here. It's 1-2. And the crowd will undoubtedly tell the story. The set, the pitch. It's popped up down towards first base, stumbling into foul territory. Jim Mailer now there after the recovery. He's got it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th with Gaylord Perry now only a half dozen outs away from his 300th win in an illustrious big league career. The Yanks, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1. After 6.5 with this big crowd on its feet now, it's the Mariners 5. Mariners 7th, it'll be Bud Bulling, the catcher, a number 9 hitter. Then Julio Cruz and Manny Castillo. Rudy May came on in the 4th, and he's pitched effectively. He's allowed just 1 hit, no runs in 3 frames. The only hit was Richie Zisk's 2-out double in the 5th inning. Well, fans, this Bud's for you. Day or night, anytime is the right time to enjoy the clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. Terry Bowling rips a fastball to left. It'll go down into the corner all the way to the wall. It hits at the 316 marker. Bounds back to Winfield. Bowling digging for 2. Here's the throw. It'll be close to slide. He's in there. Bowling has a double. Last Friday night at Yankee Stadium, Gaylord Perry went 8 2/3 innings to win his 299th career game. And that night, Bud Bulling went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Tonight, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Here's Julio Cruz in a bunting situation. He swings away and fouls it into the second level. Off first. 1 strike on Julio Cruz. Mayberry at first, Smalley at third, looking for the bunt. Julio Cruz squares to bunt this time, takes the pitch. It's a strike. 0-2. 27,369 here tonight. 27,369. Bowling leads at second with nobody out in the 7th. The slider from Rudy May is low to Julio Cruz. 1-2. Larry Anderson now tuning up in the bullpen in the Mariners bullpen area down in that left field corner. 5-1 M's in the 7th. The check of the runner, and the left-hander Rudy May throws it up there. It's a breaking ball low, and it hits the bat of Julio Cruz and trickles away from Rick Cerrone. 1-2. Gaylord Perry going for number 300 tonight. Early win. Had to come back in the middle of the '63 season with Cleveland after not making the White Sox that spring. to win his 300th, July 13th, 1963 in Kansas City. And I guarantee you, Early didn't get the 300th win in his first try at it. And he needed relief the night he won it from Jerry Walker, who was a Yankee scout watching this one tonight here in Seattle. The pitch way outside off the glove of Cerrone, gets away from him. To third goes Bulling. Cerrone recovers the ball, but the Mariners have a runner at third. That's a wild pitch. Charge to Rudy May. May came on in the fourth in relief of Doyle Alexander. Gaylord Perry tonight has gone all the way. He'll come out in the eighth, needing 6 outs with at least a 5-1 lead. Bulling at third, nobody out. Julio Cruz the hitter. 2-2 the count. The Yanks pull the infield in. Smalley, Dent, Randolph, and Mayberry all uptight. The set now by Rudy May. The look to third. Here comes the pitch. It's a curve low and inside. 3-2. Of course, Early Wynn had failed in several shots at victory number 300 with the White Sox in 1962 before finally getting it after a few chances with the Indians in the middle of the 63 season. Here's May's pitch. Curve lifted to right, fairly deep. Griffey will get under the ball, tagging at third, Bulling. Griffey makes the catch. Here comes Bulling. They'll hold him up. The throw is strong, right on the money. And that's 1 out. Julio Cruz flies to right field. And Manny Castillo has a single and an RBI and 3 tries will come up. Of course, everyone who is at the Kingdome tonight will long remember this historic event. The players especially, I'm sure, will long after they're retired remember this game above most others. Manny Castillo, a switch hitter, will bat right-handed. The infield for the Yanks still in. Mariners up by 4 in the 7th. Pitch out, and Bulling is not coming. Some of the players who were on the Indians when Early Wynn won his 300th. Tito Francona, Dick Hauser, now the Royals manager, played shortstop that night. Willie Kirkland, Max Alvis, Joe Adcock, John Romano, Al Luplo. Here's the pitch. Pitch out again, and nothing doing. Bulling stationary at third, 2-0. Larry Brown played second base in that game for Cleveland. Woody Held pinch hit in that game. Pinch hit for Early Wynn before Jerry Walker came on to pitch. Willie Tasby got in the game for Tito Francona in left field. And you know, to this day, players in that game don't forget it at all. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike call in the outside corner. It's interesting that Tony La Russa appeared in that game for Kansas City the day Early Wynn won his 300th. We already mentioned Woody Held and Dick Hauser. So Dick Hauser and Tony La Russa, 2 current American League managers, both played in that game the last time a 300 career win was notched. Bulling leads from third with 1 out. The set by Rudy May. The pitch on the way. Swung on, belted to left, deep. Castillo has hit it to the wall. Winfield, he leaps. It's off the wall. He can't get it. Bulling will score from third. That makes it 6-1. Rounding second, Castillo, he'll hold on. Throw behind him to Randolph. Gets away from him, but it's backed up by Mayberry, and Castillo with a double puts another run on the board for Gaylord Perry and the Mariners. Dave Winfield went to the wall. Didn't get back as far as he might have, and the ball hit behind him and then bounded back to the infield. Finally, Winfield able to run it down, but by that time, Bulling had scored easily from third, and Castillo with his second RBI is at second base. 6-1 Mariners in the 7th. The hitter is Bruce Bochy. Bruce has doubled in 3 tries. Lefty versus lefty. Fastball outside, ball 1. George Frazier at work now in the Yankee pen. Larry Anderson hurling in the Mariner pen. The 1-0 pitch to Bhakti. Swing and a miss on a sinker. 1-1. Yank infield back. The outfield shades to left on the left-handed swinging Mariner left fielder. Rudy May takes off his glasses, wipes them off with a hanky, neatly folds up the hanky and puts it in his back left pocket. Now goes to the rosin bag and wipes off his hands with it. Manny Castillo leads at second base with 1 out, 1 in here in the Mariners' 7th. They're up by 5. Rudy May throws, slider, and Bhakti starts to swing but checks it. It's outside. 2-1. Kansas City A's back in '63 had an interesting club that Early Wynn defeated for his 300th Major League victory. Made to the plate. Bhakti swings and fouls it back. 2-2. Jose Tartabull played center field in that game. Wayne Causey was the A's shortstop in defeat. Jerry Lumpy was at second base. George Alusic played right. Charlie Lau was the catcher. Ed Charles played third base. Chuck Esigian played left. Ken Harrelson was at first. And Mo Drabowski started that game on the mound for Kansas City the day that Early Wynn won his 300th, July 13th, '63. Check of Castillo, the 2-2 pitch, slammed to left, line drive, it'll fall, base hit, played by Winfield on a hop. They're waving in Castillo. Here's the throw, cut off by Smalley, throw to first. Castillo has scored. Mayberry now has Bhakti in a rundown, and he tags Bhakti out, but the Mariners have a 7-1 lead on Bruce Bhakti's single to left field. That's the second out, but the big story is the fact the Mariners have added a pair of insurance runs in the 7th for Gaylord Perry, and they lead it 7-1. Richie Zisk is up, and he slams a deep fly to right. Going over for it is Griffey, and he's there to grab it. And the Mariners are through in the 7th, but they get 2 more. Two runs on 3 hits, no Yankee errors, nobody left. And after 7 innings with Gaylord Perry 6 outs away from his 300th Major League win, it's the Mariners 7, the Yankees.
Welcome back to MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. It had long been speculated that Gaylord Perry would doctor a baseball or two over the course of his 22-year big league career, throwing what was widely acknowledged as a spitball. Well, Gaylord ended that speculation when in retirement he said, quote, "I'd always have grease in at least 2 places in case the umpires would ask me to wipe one off," end quote. For the record, the only time in his career that Perry had been caught throwing that spitter came 2 months after this game in a contest versus the Boston Red Sox. Perry was suspended 10 days and fined $250 for the infraction. However, Gaylord Perry refused to rely on that spitball as he went for career win number 300 on this night. Gaylord is now just 6 outs away from reaching that magical milestone as we take you back to the Kingdome for the top of the 8th inning.
After 7, the Yanks a run, 4 hits, and error. The Mariners 7 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Gaylord Perry's ready to go. Bobby Mercer will pinch hit, and here's Dave Niehaus.
All right, Kenny, Bobby Mercer pinch hitting for Bucky Dennis. We go to the 8th, and Perry sends in a sinker down low and outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Bobby Mercer, the only true left-handed hitter all the way. Left for Gene Michael. He has a couple of switch hitters, and Dave Collins and Larry Milbourne. Gaylord Perry 6 outs away from becoming a baseball immortal. Here's the wind by the North Carolinian, and the fastball is swung on and pulled up the first baseline to Mailer. He drops it, picks it up, goes to the bag. He's 5 outs away from number 300. So Mercer is gone, 3 unassisted, and here's Willie Randolph, who has grounded to first, was on the throwing error by Manny Castillo, and he tapped back to Perry in the 6th inning, so he is 0 for 3. Randolph 0 for 3, had a couple of base hits last Friday night against Gaylord at Yankee Stadium. Nice to have join us here in the booth, our pregame guest. I hope you had a chance to hear Jim Perry chat on our Mariner Watch show. And Jim up here watching the final 5 outs as his younger brother attempts to become only the 15th man in Major League history to win 300 games. And he has been brilliant tonight. The one run scored by the Yankees, very controversial. The pitch, and the fastball is inside. Jim, you know your brother perhaps better than anybody else. What's going through his mind right now?
Oh, he's got his mind in finishing this ball game. He don't want anybody else out on the mound tonight. Just himself.
Wants to finish it, and he has a 6-run lead. The Mariners have out-hit the Yankees 10-4. Gaylord into the wind. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Willie Randolph, and it swung on and looped foul down the right field line over the New York Yankee bullpen back into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he's the first to admit, Jim, that this means a lot to him, doesn't it? Personally.
Right. But he's got everything in one mind is finishing this ball game. He wants to finish that more than anything right now. Because when he got 5 runs, I said he's got enough runs to win this ball game. Now we've got 7.
7-1 Mariners. A big gap in left center for Willie Randolph. Gaylord Perry ready to go to work. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Randolph, and the curve is outside. Just barely. 2-1 the count. Ken Kaiser, the man calling balls and strikes. The controversial run by the Yankees, Ken Griffey apparently tapped a ball in front of the plate and was thrown out by Bud Bowling, but third base umpire George Maloney said no, that the ball was foul. And after an ensuing argument, here's the 2-1 pitch to Randolph, and there is strike 2 called on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Griffey went back up to the plate, and on the very next pitch hit a home run over the wall in right center for the Yankees' only tally. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If people could see the expression on Gaylord's face, he's really serious right now.
The 2-2 delivery on the way, and it just barely misses low and inside. A fastball that time, 3-2. Gaylord Perry, at the age of 43, can not only set you up for the fastball, but still has a pretty darn good fastball.
He does, and you see just what he did then, come inside. He set him up for the ball to throw the ball away from him.
A full count on Willie Randolph with 1 man down in the 8th. 7-1 Mariners. 3-2 pitch swung on and tapped back off the bare hand of Perry to Todd Cruz. He's got a shot to throw. They get him. Oh my! What a play by Cruz. Well, apparently they don't get him. Now as the Palms go down at first base, a bang-bang play at first, and it'll be an infield hit by Willie Randolph after Todd Cruz apparently had the throw to first. We'll have a look at it on our instant replay up here. As the ball hit the seam, a little tricky hop for Todd Cruz. And they had him, but not according to first base umpire Jerry Neudecker. So Willie Randolph picks up the 5th hit off Gaylord Perry, and 2 of them have been very tarnished indeed. Well, the home run not tarnished because it was hit out, but the play before the home run. And now Willie Randolph hits one over the mound, and Todd Cruz throw just not quite in time. Here's Ken Griffey, who's 2 for 3. Perry's delivery to Griffey, and the sinker's outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of pressure on the umpires in a game like this, too, Jimmy.
It sure is. A lot of pressure in any close play that, you know, if you make it one way or the other, they're still going to get booed. But it was a tough play, and I thought he had me at first base.
1-0 the count on Griffey. The M's looking for the double play that will get Gaylord Perry back to the bench. The look over at first as Mailer is playing behind the runner, and the pitch is right there. Strike at the knees. 1-1 the count.
He's got one in mind. He's getting the ball down and get the double play and get out of this inning.
He did it well in the 3rd inning when the Yankees had runners at 1st and 3rd and only 1 down with Mumphrey at the plate, and he enticed Mumphrey to bang to the shortstop to get out of a tickly situation in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike on Griffey with Mumphrey on deck. The look at first at Randolph. The 1-1 pitch and an attempted bunt. No, he pulls the bat back, but takes the strike anyway. Right at the outside corner at the knees. 1-2. And truly tonight, Gaylord Perry is a Rembrandt. He is painting the corners of the plate. A true master of his art at the age of 43.
He's getting stronger all the time.
1-2 the count. We're chatting with Gaylord's older brother Jim here in the 8th inning. And the fans yelling, Gaylord, Gaylord in the background. And Gaylord takes that right foot off the rubber to get Randolph a little closer to the bag at first. He's not going to be running down by 6 runs with 1 man down here in the 8th inning, I wouldn't think. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and it swung on and punched toward the hole and through on the left side between Castillo and Todd Cruz. And the Yankees now have runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 down for Mumphrey, who has tripled, banged into a double play, and grounded to 2nd. Do you think that the call by the first base umpire upset Gaylord at all?
No, he's a professional. He knows it was a close ball play. And he made a good pitch right then, but the guy just slapped it through the whole left field. He made it down low, and the guy just hit it on the ground.
Here's Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey at 1 for 3. 28,587 in the house, 27,369 paid. Gaylord Perry trying to get out of it here in the 8th, and the pitch to Mumphrey down low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Perry came within 1 out of a complete game on Friday night when an error by Castillo left the door open, and then Bill Caudle came in and enticed Dave Collins on the first pitch to hit to dead center field to give Gaylord his 299th win. The 1-0 pitch, and there's a line drive base hit to left field. Down to third base goes Randolph. He'll make the turn there. Bhakti up with the ball and down by 6. They will hold Randolph at third, and the bases are jammed. With only 1 down for Big John, Mr. Mayberry. 3 consecutive hits by the Yankees here in the 8th. Mayberry has been handled by Gaylord. Again, we point out the fact that John Mayberry hit his first National League home run against Gaylord Perry while with the Houston Astros. He hit his first American League home run against whom else? Gaylord Perry, while a member of the Kansas City Royals. Left-hander Eddie Vandenberg, right-hander Bill Caudle are throwing in the M's bullpen, and Dave Duncan is going out to talk to Gaylord Perry. Perry is running his own ship tonight. If he's tired, he will tell Dunk or he will tell Latch, and he will leave. But Rene Latchman said only 14 men in the history of the game have won 300. He's going to make his own decision tonight, and his decision right now is to stay, and that certainly doesn't surprise me. I'm sure Jim Perry.
Yeah, he wants to finish this ball game more than anything. All he's got to do is get this guy up, maybe just a fly ball or a double play, get out of the inning here. But you don't want to walk anybody and just make this guy hit the ball somewhere.
Here's the wind and the pitch to Big John, and it swung on and missed, and the bottom fell out of that one. What kind of a pitch was that?
I don't know. It might have been one of those fork balls or a wet one. John looked at him pretty hard.
0-1 the count. Randolph, Griffey, Mumphrey, third, second, and first. The Mariners still with a 6-run lead. Big John right down on the knob of that bat and moving that bottom hand. The 1-strike pitch by Gaylord, and the fastball is fouled away. Is on the outside corner of the plate, and now Perry in the driver's seat. He's not going to give Mayberry anything to hit.
No, he's not. He's going to hit the ball down low and try to keep the ball probably away from him right now. He's got in mind he's way ahead. He's going to keep the ball possibly down for the double play ball.
Gaylord, that toe tap out there against the slab, turns around, goes to the underside of the bill of the cap. He'll go down the right side of his face, turn around, and look in at Bud Bowling. But Gaylord's calling his own game. He has a 2-strike count on Mayberry. Here's the wind. The 2-strike pitch, fastball, strike, 3 called on the inside corner. Mayberry do it and takes a long walk. My, oh my, what a big K for Gaylord Perry. Strikeouts for Gaylord, and it could not have come in a more propitious place.
That was a big out.
But another tough cookie stepping up to the plate. Dave Winfield, who has gone 0 for 3 against Gaylord Perry tonight. Winfield in New York went 2 for 4 against Gaylord. The Sox are jammed. Perry in his first real big jam of the night. Gaylord stares in at Winfield, goes into the wide, and the pitch on the way. Fastball tapped high off the plate. Going to be a tough play. Perry has it. Well, barehanded throw, not in time. He was at the mercy of the bounce off the plate, and the ball must have bounced 25, 30 feet in the air. Gaylord barehanded it through to first. The run comes in to score to make it a 7-2 ball game, but he made a good pitch on Winfield. Randolph scores. Griffey moves up 90 feet to third, Mumphrey to second, and of course Winfield is at first. And here's Oscar Gamble, who has flied deep to center, flying to left, and grounded to short. And in case you missed it, Oscar Gamble had a meeting with George Steinbrenner yesterday or the day before and said, play me or trade me. Well, he's in the lineup tonight. And the little man is a member of the Upper Deck Club here at the Kingdom. This little guy can generate a lot of power. Gaylord Perry with a 5-run lead. Still, the tying run does not come to the plate. But if Gamble gets aboard, it will. Here's the wind and the pitch on the way to Gamble, and the fastball strike at the knees. Bottom fell out of 2.
Pretty good. See, Oscar Gamble looked back at the umpire, but throwing 2 more like that.
0-1 the count on Oscar Gamble. Now Gaylord is ready, and the 1-strike pitch on the way now, and it's a fastball swung on, line drive, 1 hopper to Todd Cruz. He goes to Julio, not in time. The run scores. They cannot get the runner Winfield coming down from first. That big man can move, and all of a sudden the tying run will come to the plate, and the man who hit a grand slam home run last Saturday night in the 8th inning will step up to the plate, Mr. Roy Smalley. Smalley has hit more home runs here at the Kingdome than any visiting ball player, 11. And the chips are right out on the table right now. An infield hit for Gamble. And kind of a murmur comes over this nice crowd with Mumphrey, Winfield, and Gamble. Here's the wind by Gaylord. The pitch, a fastball, foul back right below us over the screen. Last Saturday night at Yankee Stadium, Bill Caudle pitched to Roy Smalley in the 8th, and Smalley took him into the upper deck. It is only 309 feet down the line at Yankee Stadium. It is 316 here, but it breaks away in a hurry, and it doesn't here at the Kingdome. 1 strike to count on Smalley. And the 1-strike pitch swung on a fly ball lifted to left. This should do it. In comes Bhakti. Both hands in the air, calling, waiting, and makes the catch and returns foul. In the 8th, the Yankees strike with a pair, but that's all. And still a grand slam home run cannot beat Gaylord Perry. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and the Yankees leave 3 big ones out there. At the end of 7 1/2, the Mariners 7, the Yankees 3. Well, the Mariners with that 4-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th will try to give Gaylord a bit more padding. Todd Cruz, Al Collins, and Joe Simpson in that order against Rudy May. And the pitch to Todd, swing and a miss and a big breaking ball. Oh, 1 the count on Todd. If Gaylord Perry wins his 300th, we will carry the press conference live. Ken has already gone down to the Mariner clubhouse. The pitch, curve inside. Ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike, and then he will move over to clubhouse B, which is adjacent to the Mariners clubhouse. So you stay tuned to your radio. You will not miss a word. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Todd, and it's swung on the ground ball back up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Todd Cruz has his 2nd hit. And the Mariners have 11 against Rudy May. The M's have 5. And here's Al Collins, who has tripled, fly to left, and fouled out to first.
Number 16, regular Al Collins.
Collins staring down at 3rd. Right-hander up for the M's, Bill Caudle. No, that's Mike Stanton who is up now, and he starts to throw. The stretch. And the pitch. Collins takes one down the middle. 1-1. The stretch by the dude. The 1-strike pitch on the way to Collins, and he takes strike 2 right down the pipe. 0-2. Cruz is walking lead from first, held on by Big John Mayberry. Rudy May peeks over there and decides to come to the plate with a fastball. It's low. Ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. George Frazier again throwing behind Rudy May in the pen down the right field line. The Mariners trying to not only win Gaylord Perry's 300th, but get even with the Yankees on the year at 2 wins and 2 losses, with 3 more to go here on this homestand tomorrow night, Saturday, and Sunday. The 1-2 pitch to Al Collins after the check of the runner, and it's a curve swung on and tapped down the 3rd baseline, but foul where Roy Smalley digs it off the dirt. 1-2 the count on Al Collins. Seven runs, 11 hits for the M's, 3 runs, 9 hits for the Yankees. The stretch by the dude. The 1-2 pitch to Al Cowens now, and here it is. It's a fastball swung on and tapped right back to the mound. May goes to Randolph. Randolph taken out of the play on a rolling block by Todd Cruz. So Cowens is safe at first on the fielder's choice. The play goes 1-6 on Todd. A 1-4 checkmate. And that'll bring up Joe Simpson, who was grounded to first, popped to third, and grounded to second. Now the stretch by Rudy May. The pitch on the way to Joe Simpson, and the curve is down low and outside, ball 1, 1-0. Simpson taps that left cleat. Back in there. Cowens at first with 1 down in the 8th. And the move to first, and Cowens back to the bag standing up. They're in the 9th inning in California. The Orioles and the Angels are tied at 2. They're in the 7th in Oakland with the A's with a 3-1 lead over the Cleveland Indians, trying to win their 7th in a row. Here are the Mariners 7-3. And the move to first base, and again Cowens back to the bag standing up. Texas lost its 12th in a row, beaten by Boston tonight 5-2, and Milwaukee over Minnesota 6-3. Cowens a big lead at first base now. May looks over there, hesitates, comes to the plate, and Simpson takes strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mariners' big inning, the 3rd when they scored 5. They scored 2 more in the 7th. The Yankees with 1 in the 6th and 2 in the 8th. Rudy May is set. The 1-1 pitch to Joe Simpson now, and it's a fastball fouled at the plate, and Cowens was off and running. Joe Simpson slowly ambling back up to the plate. Perhaps he got a piece of that off his instep. Rudy May coming into the ball game in the 4th inning for New York. The 1-2 pitch to Simpson, and it's a curve swung on, and a line drive hit right to the second baseman Randolph, who drops it, goes to first for the double play. And he did it on purpose. Well, I don't think he would have had to, because had he caught it in the air, he could have gone to first anyway. So the double play goes 4-3, and all eyes are on Gaylord Perry as he heads to the mound at the end of 8, 7-3. Perry 3 outs away from baseball immortality. He will look at Rick Cerrone, then Larry Milbourne, and Willie Randolph as the Mariners lead it by a score of 7-3. Everybody up on their feet as Gaylord Perry went out to the mound to begin the 9th. Rick Cerrone is 0 for 3. Perry into the wind. The first pitch, it's a fastball low and outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Perry underneath the bill of that cap, down the side of his face. And Gaylord's 1-0 pitch on the way to Cerrone, and it's a fastball foul back, and every strike now will receive a reaction. 1-1 the count on Cerrone. Perry turns around, kicks at that rubber, swipes across the front of it with the right foot, then the left, turns around one more time to face the hitter, Rick Cerrone. The 43-year-old veteran into the line. The 1-1 pitch to Cerrone now, and it's a curve low and outside, a slow breaking ball. 2-1 the count. $28,587 here. $27,369 paid. Perry, working from the center of that rubber, is ready, and Gaylord's 2-1 pitch to Cerrone. Strike! 2 called on the inside corner. 2-2. And Cerrone turns around and jaws with Ken Kaiser. A good pitch right on the inside corner of the plate. 11 hits for the M's, 9 for New York, but more importantly, 7 runs for the M's and only 3 for the Yankees. Gaylord Perry set with the 2-2 pitch to Rick Cerrone now. And here it is. It's a fastball. Check swing capper right back to the mound. One, precious out. Gaylord's 2 outs away. Perry throws out Rick Cerrone. Larry Milbourne, the ex-Seattle Mariner, will step up to the plate. A little switch hitter batting left-handed. Castillo hands Perry the ball. Milbourne up on the knob of that bat. Gaylord Perry stares down. Here is the line, and the pitch to Milbourne. Just missing outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Milbourne, the man that got it started in the 8th inning last Saturday night for the New York Yankees. Here's the wind by Perry. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Larry, and the fastball is slapped foul down the left field line back, and it's out of play. Milbourne hitting only 190 with 4 hits in 21 at-bats. And he does have a half dozen RBIs. Milbourne let it off in the 8th inning with a base hit down the right field line off Jim Beattie. When the Yankees eventually won 5-1. Gaylord Perry back with the 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's a slider swung on it, popped up, foul territory, maybe a play. Third baseman Manny Castillo near the stands, and it's back just into the photographer's well to the left of the Mariner dugout. But Perry with things his way, a ball and 2 strikes. I'm not so sure that Gaylord Perry is oblivious to the crowd here. He's a man of great concentration. One of the great competitors in the history of the game. Does that toe tap out there on the mound before turning around, and Milbourne just staring at him to see if he can pick up Gaylord loading the ball up perhaps. Larry waving the wood back and forth. Gaylord Perry reaches into that glove. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Milbourne, and it's a fastball popped up right side. Cruz coming in. Julio calling and calling. 1 precious out to go. Milbourne pops to Julio Cruz, and Gaylord Perry, perspiration dropping off his nose as he receives the ball from Manny Castillo and receives a standing ovation here before almost 29,000 fans. Looks at Willie Randolph and tries to take care of the pesky little second baseman of the Yankees and go back to the clubhouse and enjoy, savor something only 14 other men have done in the history of this game. The pitch, low and outside to Willie Randolph. 1 ball and no strikes. Perry wants a new baseball, throws it in. Kenny Kaiser kind of rolls that ball around in his hand and says, no, it's no good. And it gives a new one out to Gaylord Perry. Gaylord Perry, 43 years, 8 months old, from Williamston, North Carolina. Goes into the wind. The 1-0 pitch on the way now to Randolph, and it's a strike call right down the middle, 1-1. Everybody on their feet here at the Kingdom. Perry gets set to deliver the 1-1 pitch to Willie Randolph. The Graybeard into the wind. The 1-1 pitch to Willie. Curve up and in. Down he goes. 2-1 the count. And it's great to have you fans around the world listening on American Forces Radio, being able to sit in on a bit of baseball history here at the Kingdom in Seattle, Washington tonight. On May the 6th, 1982, Gaylord Perry 1 out away from 300. The 2-1 pitch to Randolph. Swung on, ground ball to Cruz. This should do it. He's got it. It's over. Gaylord has 300. Everybody mobbing Gaylord Perry as he goes all the way. His teammates come out, Bud Bulling, and Gaylord Perry becomes the 15th man in baseball history to win 300 games as the Mariners beat the Yankees 7-3. My, oh my. The national media television camera is out. Gaylord Perry with the hat off, saluting these fans in Seattle, saying thank you for coming out. He has done it. Number 300 in the 9th inning for the New York Yankees. It was a typical Perry 1-2-3 performance. Gaylord, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. The Yankees are 1-2-3'd, and they are beaten by Perry 7-3.
Following the game, Gaylord Perry said in front of the assembled media at his locker, quote, "Maybe now you guys will recognize me more for winning 300 games and not for that other pitch," end quote. However you want to characterize him, there was no debating that Gaylord Perry was one of the game's most fierce competitors. Perry, however, never realized his dream of a World Series title, having made just one postseason appearance over his 2-decade-plus stay in the big leagues. At the age of 44, Perry moved on to Kansas City, pitching his final 2 seasons with the Royals. It only lasted a year, but what a memorable and historic tenure in the great Northwest it was for the ancient Mariner, Gaylord Perry. I'm Greg Amsinger. Thanks for watching. MLB Network presents All Time Games.